Okay, good evening. So today we will see SQL Alchemy. So for the part it will be SQL Alchemy only today, and tomorrow we will see how to build SQLite database and how to use SQL Alchemy in the our Flask library project. So now yesterday we have seen writing SQL commands. There might be error prone. So if you are creating, try to create or try to insert values. If there is one spelling mistake or might throw into an error. So, so now if we just write a Python code and in the backend itself, if there is a tool which can convert into SQL queries and update our database, create our database. So it's a very Pythonic way. So that's kind of tool is SQL Alchemy. So it's like a object a rational mapping library. So it's like whenever we create a objects like we already know, right? A class object model. So we create a class and then we create objects. So it's like object a relational mapping it will do, and it creates on whatever the database objects into fields. So using our objects, it will create a database fields depending on the properties. So how we will see. So if you see here, tables can be separate class. So generally, whatever we create a table that can we can write multiple classes. For example, if it is a book, we can write another book class, and if it is another some user class, and then every row is a new object of that particular class. So it's like we are creating again. We create first a class, and then we create object model. So here now let's see first of all just what we did. We have just created a SQL Alchemy demo and created a basic main.py. So just it's nothing but a empty file and requirement.txt whatever we have it from the zipped file the first yesterday's class. So just I have kept here and I have taken the same thing, just open it into PyCharm, and once I open it to PyCharm it will ask for to create a virtual environment. It automatically creates a virtual environment using the requirements whatever we mentioned in that. And then here the requirements, for example, yeah. So it's like using this where Flask its version. So we want Flask version as 3.0.0, and Flask SQL Alchemy version is 3.1.1, and normal SQL Alchemy is 2.0.25. So this is the same thing we have did it for. So once we did it again, you can just check if there is still any error popping up. Then just click on, for example, if you just go here, file, and reload all from disk, it will actually give us uh, this thing. So, so it will already, and we have mentioned multiple ways. So we can actually open the terminal and do pip install. Uh, there is a command where we forcefully install, like implicitly install all the required packages. So for example, this is install requirements.txt. So generally what I got is there is an error from Flask. It actually shows a red color. Then just we can actually do what are required, and then we just press and pip install. It will automatically install the package in the virtual environment. Once virtual environment is created, we can actually see this virtual environment library, like So virtual environment is created, all the libraries got installed. So even if I just show a simple demo, just uh, taking this one and I am creating SQL Alchemy PyCharm demo. Just I am copy pasting now. Just for a demo purpose, just I am using again like open. So it is here now in the Flask PyCharm demo. Just I'm opening this. So open a new window. So if you see, it is asking to creating a virtual environment. The base interpreter, let's keep it as Python 3.9 only, and it should be so all the dependencies. It should, as of now, you don't see any virtual environment. So when you are OK, so if you see here, it is creating a virtual environment. So once it is done, we will get all the folders. So for example, yeah. So here it is installing all the packages, required packages. So we got, if you see here, it created a virtual environment folder, and it is installing all the required. So once it is done, just I'm opening this main.py file. So it is giving so for Flask framework there is a professional edition as special support, but it is a uh, paid version, so we are just using community version. That's fine to learn. So it is still installing packages. So now it's scanning indexes. So now once it scan all the uh, somewhere if there is an error, so it will show. For example, if you see here, it's saying unresolved reference flash. So then we can actually click on this install package Flask. So why again by default it is everything creating a virtual environment, and then we are installing whatever the packages require into this virtual environment folder. So it doesn't affect whatever the root installations we have done, if it is Anaconda or if it is Python, normal Python, different 3.11 or 3.12, whatever version you have used. So here it is now it is indexing. Once it got indexing, then we will see whether all the errors will be gone or not. So generally by default we will get like this pop-up red line in PyCharm if there is no package available for that. Yeah, now indexing done. So now if you see there is uh, no red line coming. So now let's go back. So once we done with now, we have to import all the SQL Alchemy classes. So this is what we have done. From Flask we are importing Flask. From Flask and Alchemy we are importing Alchemy. From SQL Alchemy dot object relational mapping ORM we are importing declarative base mapped column. So now using SQL Alchemy documentation we have to check to create a database object, how to initialize database object, define model and create a table. So this is initial start. So just I'm opening that link. So now generally we have did all this. So it's like passes either declarative to the constructor. So we have to pass this subclass declarative base for this constructor. So this is the thing we already coded. So just so now we are creating the same thing. So and then we are passing model base. So model class equal to this. So, so first we are creating a database object and using the SQL Alchemy constructor. So yeah, so DB object. So here we have to do this. So that is done. If I just go back, we have to define our model and we have to define a create a table. So how to do that? We can actually there is another link. So so generally we can give this base URL and we can if it is in the environment variables we can get that database URL. So without this is mainly because we generally store the database, our main database, uh, the connection string in the environment variable. So it is if someone is able to if we are running our is that website and if we don't want to expose our database connection string or database name, then actually we will be storing it in environment variable and then we are getting using OS mechanism. So here generally we don't as of now we are not doing that. We can directly give this thing. So here we are what we are doing, we are in the app in the Flask app we are actually configuring SQL URL using SQL new books collection DB. So just if I just go here, so these are the requirements. So before that, so we have to create an SQLite database adding new collection DB. Remember to initialize the app. So we can, if this is again a hyperlink we have provided, and when we click on this, so here we are configuring SQLite database related to app instance. So SQL database URL URI, and then we are giving this SQLite whatever the database name we want, we can directly give here, and we have to initialize the app. So if I just go back here, so we have created app config, and we have initialized the app extension. Okay, it's for, so these two are at one point. Okay, let me just, so this it's like so why we are getting a warning, if you see here now, just if I just click on this, so it's like expected to blank after class or function definition and found one. So after any class or function definition, it is expecting two blank lines. So but we have given only one blank line. So it is like PEP standard. So whenever we writing any Python code, so it has some guidelines. We call it as PEP 8. I think we already discussed on this how what are the things. So in editors, it will actually give the notations, how what to make and what how to write clean puppet configurations. And even if you see here class definition, and you can in this the main is of editor. So we can directly see the documentation like the doc strings for a class keyword, how it does. Now we have did the same thing. Now initialize the app. So now if I just go back, so now we have to create a table in this database called books. So we will be creating a table, and it should contain four fields: ID, title, and writing. So the field should not have limitations. Should have the as before. So already we have seen like varchar, integer, float, unique, not null, and primary ID. So if you see here creating tables, so the first thing we have to do is create table, and again what how we are doing, we are doing using a class. So we are creating a book class, and here we are passing an argument just like a db.model. So db.model is nothing but again this is the base model. So if you see here model class what we have passing. Now again this is the mapping. So we have already imported, if you see, the mapped and mapped column from object relational mapping. So ID we are mapping it. So we are saying it as this one like integer. So this should be integer in the mapped column. So it will be integer and primary key is true. So again if I just go to this Flask manager, and so mapped integer, like, so class user. So here it is, they have imported like SQL Alchemy as SO, and so that's why they are using SO.mapped and SO.mapped column, but we have imported from SQL Alchemy all the required mapped column and this class, I meant to say, this declarative base class subclass. So that's why we are directly using from so if I just go to this documentation, so they are just using whatever the require. So primary key. So now, So map the title will be anyways it will be string only. So mapped column and it will be 250 max character 250 and it should be unique and it should be nullable. It should not be null contain null values. And other again it is again string and it should not contain null values. And again the rating also should not contain any null values. Maximum character string. So we are defining just mappings. So we are not writing any queries here, but we are just defining all the what are the column require title. So so now whenever we want to create an object and to create to get select query to run from SQL Alchemy. So this is optional argument. So when it will return the book and self.title or whenever we query using some ID, it will return. So we will see how to read, update, and delete also. So we will see create and mechanisms. So here again, if I just uh, go to here, quick start. So create the tables. After all the tables are defined, we need to create with create all. So we will be creating a schema. So it requires application context. So it's like from with the app from app dot app context. So all the different tables are defined. So we can define multiple tables. As of now, we defined only a book table, and just like create all. Yeah. So generally, this we can use whenever we want to create a new table and it create the schema metadata for that. So, but if you want to update the table, we should not be using the create all table. It won't do that. So now if I just go back, create schema. So now again create a new entry. So with this all this data. So so there is a hints already we have given. Already we have used this collection DB. Now as of now, if you see there is no instance folder created. So when I again this create record is again from app.context only. We are new book and we are create an object of this class. And what we are doing, we are passing all the required parameters and arguments like keyword arguments and their values. So for ID it will be Harry Potter and from the same thing. So now we are adding a new book object. So this is like insert into. So yesterday if you see here, if I just go back to SQLite demo, we have seen insert into values. So here insert into is again in the backend what it does, it will do add new book. So it's like insert into, so it just we are calling add method. So in the backend it will do the insert to our database. So and then it will session dot commit is again the same thing whatever we update it will be committed. Otherwise if you don't do this, if you just refresh it and all the data it will be gone in the database also. So we need to do the commit to store the data in the database. So now just if I just go back here, So it's the explanation again, summary what we did. So creating a new database. So we are importing all the required things, all the required packages like from Flask, importing Flask, from Flask Alchemy we are importing, and this subclass and the mapped and mapped column can say methods, and we are importing integer string for SQL Alchemy float. So because if we have used this in the when creating a table. So yeah, this string float, all this we have imported from SQL Alchemy package itself, and we are passing it. So mapped column method and mapped method. So if I just here now creating a new table, and check and that data will be stored in the database. So model what is used for. So it's like explicitly why the model. So actually that model is mainly for declaring variable types like mapped so that it can type check. Second. Okay, so now we created the class, and we have created a book class, and then we created all by using create all we have created that method. So just so here this is what I'm talking about. So generally what are the database we take, the database mainly have will should have this four you can say this four methods or four operations to perform. So it's like CRUD card operations. So it's like create, read, update, and delete. So first, for now, we will be seeing the create record. So as of now, as Alchemy demo, there is no instance folder, right? So before creating, I will just comment this out. So first of all, just I'm creating a database. Okay, so it's like what it is saying, line dot line dot line 75. Line 75 is there. Okay, sorry, haven't forgot to comment this. in PyCharm it's like control plus forward slash to comment this whenever select. So generally if before there is no instance, right? Now we have created a new uh, database object, so we can use the same SQLite DB browser. Just I am opening the database, and here class SQL PyCharm demo, and I am just going here, and yeah, now the database got created, but there is no data. So here, so now one of the use cases, again yesterday we have commented it out in SQL database whenever we want to create a record, right? Here we don't need to do that. So again, just we are inserting into, we don't need to comment this class or the create all. So uh, whenever if the database is already there, then it don't do it don't recreate another table. I mean to say, if the table already exists, but we should have this a class object defined. Otherwise, if we don't define it, actually it will give us an error whenever we query any data. So now just I am again running this. It is getting stuck. So what is happening? Okay, took 97% memory. So closing this. Closing this also. So now I want to execute this with exit code 0. So now if I just, so if I just refresh this, so we can see here Harry Potter, the record got added. So now we can see the create operation we have done. Now the same thing we can read also. Generally we can read all. Okay, let me just close this also. Okay, now again, so for reading all the books, so it will be under this scalar. So for reading a specific book again, so it will be a scalar object. So if you see we print all books, it won't be. Let's see what exactly it will give. So for creating record, we can't create again with the same ID if we want to done. So that's why just it will give us error. So I am just commenting it out. So if I just go back, Now create record. So again, even if we don't give ID also, we can actually create when the ID will be automatically incremented whenever we try to insert a new book and then, like new another book and any other if even the author and the rating is same, the book title should be unique. Then the ID also should be, it will be automatically incremented. So it will give us a result object. So let's see what exactly the difference is. So I'm running here. Now if for the print, I'm printing all books. So if you see here, it is actually a scalar result object from SQL Alchemy. So we have to get hold of that object and we have to do again some unnecessary operations to get the data. But here again, if you see, we just executed where select from book table and where the title is Harry Potter dot scalar. So just and then we are printing that book. So what it's happening is, so because we here defined this representation like this dunder method, you can say, where we are returning the book and the title. So that's what it is printing. So that's what here we have given. So if we just again don't define this, it again it will be another scalar object only. So for more details, we can just go through this. Okay, otherwise, or we can go through this also. Flask Alchemy, how to read data or something. Let's go here. So as of now, we are using session.execute. There are multiple another methods also for SQL Alchemy. So for example, if you want to update a record by query and a record by primary key, we will be doing that. So here to get the data, we can actually use a book to update db.getter404 method. So it's like the extra query methods, you can say here. So whenever just if you are getting a user, so this is mainly whenever user try to fetch their data, if they are unable to find, then this is one of the methods. So it's like 404 error, uh, not found error we already seen. So this is very useful when you are developing any web application. So we can just call this method. So it will return all the instances where the user ID is there, and if it is not there, it will throw 404 error. So now before that we have to see here commenting this. I'm commenting. So now I'm updating Harry Potter for the Chamber of Secrets. So again, this is just what I'm doing. I'm updating where using book title is Harry Potter. So I'm getting that hold of that record, and then I'm updating the title. So we are just updating. We are not like so we are not using any update query here. So just run this. So as of now, we are getting book name Harry Potter. What we can see here, now just refresh this. So now just see here, yeah, what title got updated. But now again, if I run this, it won't. It will throw an error because now the title Harry Potter is not there, and there is no way to update. So it will throw as an error. So that's why just I'm commenting it. Again now we have book ID. So using a primary key, commenting this. So now if I just run again, so the read queries work fine because just we are reading. So here we will get none. And the object will be a scalar object. So now I am updating using the book ID. Book ID where it is. So if you see here, there is no Harry Potter title name. That's why we got none. So now it should update to Goblet and Fire. So now Chamber of Secrets to Goblet of Fire. So it got updated. So now just the final thing is like to delete. So now we are deleting using primary keys. So here if you see again to get the data like book from book, and just we are passing a book ID. So it is similar to the get 404 so it's similar to session dot db dot select where book ID equal to scalar, like that. It is actually similar to this. So book to update, and now it is like we are calling delete method. So for update there is no method we are calling, but we are just getting hold of whatever the column we need to update. We are getting hold of that using a dot notation. So here what we are calling delete, and we are getting that book to delete, and then we are committing it. So now if I just again run this, so now it is like it should everything should be gone. So here one record. Now if I just refresh it again, there is no data in the table. So we have deleted all the data. So it's like this 404 method is quite handy so to query any data. So That's what here we have seen how to get hold of all the records and like create, read, delete, update operations. So whatever database we take, this CRUD operations is mandatory to it will be having whatever the database we take. So tomorrow we will be building a SQL database for the library and then using SQL Alchemy for our Flask website, and I will see how it works. Yeah, that's it for today. Thank you.